I'm a hippo.
Broadcast Hippo. Digital media.
Come on!
I'm a hippo.
Broadcast Hippo. Digital media.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday. It is Monday, May 24th. That's right. You're not going to hear in the year of our Lord, which is you already have. And so I'd like to say this right off the bat. Without Teebs, this show would not be possible. So this show, major benefactor is Teebs of Adrian. That's right. If you're looking for any of your cannabis needs or your CBD needs, those are the people that you need to see. Teebs of Adrian. They even have stuff for dogs. So, aren't we all excited? Happy Monday, everybody. Say hello to Gina from, what is that? Gabella Media.
You
right?
haven't
Is
heard
that
it
how you-
every day for like the last 6 months?
Well, I can't trust how Andrew pronounces words.
Okay, I give you that.
So it is Gabella Media, right?
It is
Like
Gabella
Gabby.
Media, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And Mr. Christopher Tiefel. Chris, I thought I saw you at Walmart buying some swim stuff.
Yeah.
That was
on Saturday.
you?
On Saturday
Yeah.
afternoon. Yeah,
Yeah.
That was totally me. I was going to a pool party and I didn't have a beach towel.
Okay. I was like, that looks like Chris, but he looks way more mountain man-y. Like your hair wasn't slicked back. And Kara was like, I think that's Chris. He looks like Chris. And I'm like, well, I don't know Chris that well enough. I know Screen Chris. I don't feel comfortable walking up to this guy and going, hey, aren't you Chris?
Where'd you see him at?
Walmart, buying stuff that I thought like I would have never pictured you by the side of a pool.
Well, because Ashley
Well,
got to see Chris last week, and she was like, "He looks hairier in person."
He does. He absolutely does. The beard was unkempt, the hair was flowing. I was like, is that the drummer from AC/DC?
Yeah, believe it or not, this is me prettied up. So, but yeah, I was going to a pool party, got invited to, and so I needed a beach towel, and I ended up buying a new shirt too, a little sleeveless number there, so I just looked more rednecky.
Oh, nice!
Because you can't keep those guns hidden. You gotta. It's the summer. You gotta unleash the beast.
Yeah, sun's out, guns out.
So how was the party? How was the pool party?
It was actually a lot of fun. It was for work here, but it was a coworker here invited a bunch of us over. So the guys here from the office, and one of the sales guys, he owed me some. He owed me a bottle of something, so he couldn't go to the party, but apparently he showed up earlier and dropped a bottle of Johnny Walker off for me.
Ooh.
See, that's a good salesperson working that IT angle there, knowing that like you got a problem, call my guy Chris.
Yep. And so I got my bottle. I made some stuff for the party. This was a taco ring that I made that Georgia's showing on the screen. And it was really good. It was actually a big hit at the party there. Made 2 of them actually, and then I made some flameless mini s'mores, which were also awesome. Somebody even took a bunch of them home when they left.
See, that's a sign of a good cook. Now, was that an egg wash over the top of that, or was that just brushed butter?
That was just from the nonstick spray in the butt pan.
Oh, okay. I was gonna give you like tons of props because that looked beautiful. This looks like somebody with epilepsy made them.
Well, it's they make it look so much easier in the video that I found. But one thing that they don't tell you about when you're putting something like this together, like these s'mores together for a party, is the tediousness of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you get around the 15th one and you just start questioning your entire existence.
Yeah. Why am I doing this?
The first 14 look beautiful, and then you're just like, damn, I got like 16 more to go.
Yeah.
You're like, people better eat these things or I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It was. I was nervous because I also made my own salsa and guacamole for the taco ring, and so I was actually really nervous on whether or not any of it was going to be good, but apparently everyone loved it.
Good.
Awesome.
Good. Gina, how was your weekend?
It was good. My van broke down, but that's okay.
That's not good.
Oh,
I mean, it sucks, but it is what it is. It's I don't know. The ace, I think the alternator's out. So I got to go back today and get it towed and all that fun stuff.
did you tap on it?
Yeah. Did you
I don't
take
know
a
where the
hammer?
alternator is in this one. It's like at the bottom.
That's why you gotta pound everything.
If it was the alternator was on the top, I would change it myself because I can do that. That's not a big deal. But it's on the bottom, and I'm just looking at it like I don't get underneath cars. That's when I pay people.
Yeah. I don't think you should get underneath cars unless they're like monster trucks.
You don't need a jack for it. It's dangerous.
So, and that was it? Just your van broke down? You had to have packed more in that.
I don't remember. I think I partook a little too much this weekend. Yeah, I didn't do anything actually because I said Saturday I did a mom fit, and I know you guys know what the mom fit is, where I'm just done with people not listening to me in my house, and so I was like, I'm effing done, and I'm not doing anything today, and I did nothing on Saturday. Didn't go anywhere, didn't do anything. I'm not cooking for you people, none of that. Do everything yourself. I'm off today.
How much of that do you think was the
off.
heat?
No, I have. We're running. It's like we have central air in this. It's like this house is like 100 some years old. It's the oldest duplex, and it's and it's huge. Like we have the upstairs. In the upstairs, we have to run 5 ACs. We're running them all. So, yeah, it's ridiculous. My electric bill in the winter or in the summertime, you guys, holy shit! Like I work just for the electric bill.
That is so crazy. Like I'll tell you what, it was like the heat. Just like we have our AC running. But the heat is the best diet plan I have ever been on. Like I don't want to be around food. All I want to do is be around like liquids and cold. And it was just so Africa hot.
Ours is actually out. Our AC is out.
No,
like it'll run. Not the day.
Well, I mean, it was supposed to be a lot hotter this weekend. Actually, I don't know if you guys were. It was supposed to be like in the mid 90s, and it only got up to the 80s, which obviously was still super hot. But it'll like run for like a half hour, then it will be out. Then you have to like turn it off. So they'll probably come out today. But luckily, we got I got one of those little bubble pools. I don't know if you remember I talked about last year, with the inflatable ring around it, and I take like a lot of pride in that thing, like because it's such it's almost like he dug a hole and poured the cement for like a real in-ground pool. It's how much he like skims it. There's chlorine. Oh my god. There's a little lifeguard. Yeah. The inflatable ring like had holes in it. So from storing it all year. So that was like a 3-day process with my neighbor and I, like just searching and finding these holes. And then yesterday I figured out I have a new I like sweep it. Like you're not supposed to be able to sweep these pools because the filters are like this big, they don't really have that much power. But a friend of mine showed me how to just hook a tube up. So I'm literally in the pool with just a giant hose and nothing else, no brush because it's not powerful enough to hook up to an attachment. And I'm just sucking all like the grass and the dirt off the bottom of the pool. And it accidentally like I just got away from me and like grabbed my leg, like my upper thigh, and you would have thought that I forgot I was holding it myself, and like there was a shark in my pool. It's like, oh, and, like pulled it off my leg, like I was being attacked by a hose. But it almost got me in the nether regions, and that would have been a whole different story. Luckily, there was no one else outside.
Okay.
I don't know why you don't have cameras at all times on you and the kids.
Oh my gosh.
You should just always have cameras going like a reality show.
Like I often wonder, like when I see these videos of these people who catch these amazing things or they do these amazing things and we just go I'm like, there's no way like you just caught that. Like I'm
right.
just, you would have to walk around with your camera on constantly, right?
Yeah. It's
Well,
like
some
they
of
were
it's surveillance
taping
video.
something else.
And then just happened to catch that. It's like those videos where they catch the amazing shots but then you find out that they recorded like 50 of them before they caught one of them.
Yeah,
that
like
kind of
Dude
thing.
Perfect. Like they are the biggest, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with Dude Perfect. It should be called Dude Try until we catch it on camera, because like they don't make all those shots, but they edit all this shit together. So like my kids try to do it and then they get mad because they don't get it on the first time. And I'm like, trust me, none of these guys have gotten this on the first try. Like,
well, it's genius the way they edit it. I mean, they'll take 2 hours to 12 hours doing these shots, but they'll do it for like a week. So they'll get like 10 in a row and then they'll edit it and play them one after another. So it just seems so impossible, which it is still really hard. I mean, did you remember they dropped like a basketball from a helicopter once, and they had like a guy driving around in a forklift with a basketball hoop on it, and he was like trying to, and it took him like a whole day, but they finally made the shot from like 1,000 feet in the air.
Yeah, but how do you come up with that? Like, what's the thought process behind? Is it we should try to throw a basketball out of a helicopter at a forklift with a fruit basket, and then somebody's like, dude, maybe we should use a basketball hoop, and he's like, that'll work, like
did you see Rob Gronkowski actually set the Guinness Book of World Records for highest catch? He caught a football out of a helicopter last week.
I saw that, and I'm like, I didn't know that was a category, right? Like, I didn't know there was somebody who had already won that.
Do they just make categories up as they go? Because I think that they do. It feels like there's new weird ones every year.
I think they disqualify body ones.
Speaking of him, I don't know why, you guys. He rubs me the wrong way. Like, I cannot stand anything about that dude. Does anybody know why? Like, is there something about? I just do not like him.
Well, he strikes you like he's not okay. He just seems like he's not quite all right. I'm like, bro,
he's that drunk frat guy that'll put his head through anything. That like that's the guy. You're like, you know what? You want to see somebody try to put their head through a cement wall, and then you go Gronk, and then he puts on his motorcycle helmet, and then he runs like full bore at the wall. He just strikes me as a big drunk chotch.
Maybe that's it. I don't know why. Every time I see him, though, I'm like, God, I cannot stand him. And then I'm like, but why? I don't know why. I don't have a reason. I just don't like the dude.
Okay, so I just want to get off of this real quick because I need to talk about my experience with a vet, and I need to understand, not a vet, not like a military veteran, but a doggy vet, like, because I need to make that distinction. I don't want anybody to go, wow, well, you shouldn't have taken your dog to a guy who just got out of the army. Like, so, all right, Monday, I go take my dog to the vet, and he comes out and he rubs his hands through his hair, and he says, I'm really worried about your dog. He goes, I felt this huge mass. We need to do x-rays on him. And because there's this huge mass around his spleen. And he goes, I felt it. I need to take some x-rays. He takes some x-rays. He comes out and he goes, your dog has a huge mass attached to his spleen. It's more than likely 95% cancerous. It's definitely, and if it's cancer, he's got 2 months, at most, if you do a surgery. And so he's like, but I really want to find out, what it really looks like and see if it's spread to the liver. So I need you to get an ultrasound. He was like, well, we can do an ultrasound or exploratory surgery. And that just seems a little weird to cut somebody open and just start digging in them. And he's like, so we do an ultrasound. All right, we elect for the ultrasound. I make the appointment for Friday at 8:30 in White House. I have to drive. And let me just tell you, there's a reason why they call it White House. It's got to be because white people was already taken. So, like, you just feel uncomfortable driving to a town called white people. And so...
Even I would feel uncomfortable driving through a town called white people.
Yeah. And so I take him to the vet, and we get and the vet lady, the assistant goes, if you have a mask, you can come in. And so I put my mask on, I walk in to one of those little examining rooms, they turn off the light, and the doctor brings in the ultrasound machine. Now I have prepared myself all week for this dog to be riddled with cancer. Like, just that worst case scenario, this is what it is. And even if it hasn't spread to the liver, if they take it out, he's going to die in 2 months. And so the vet starts giving him the ultrasound, and he's like, so what's he here for again? And I was like, well, doctor, my doctor says that he's got a splenic tumor, and that he just needs to see the size and shape of it and make sure that it hasn't spread to any of the other organs. And the doctor's got his little ultrasound thing, and he's just rubbing it. And he's like, I don't see a tumor anywhere in this dog. There's no tumor. He's like, the dog's spleen is working perfectly. I don't see any growth. There's no Swiss cheesing, which is what I would expect to see in like the organs. It would show up as dark circles. So he's like, and I don't see any of that. He goes, other than your dog having a relatively larger size spleen than most dogs, he goes, there's nothing wrong with this dog.
Good.
Right? Good. Now, this whole thing has cost me $478. Right? $50 for the vet visit, $124 for x-rays, where the doctor told me he had cancer and there was a growth, and then $300 for the ultrasound.
Yeah.
So you're looking for a new vet now, is what you're saying?
I don't know. Like, this is the thing. All right. Now, my wife. Now, let me just tell you.
It sounds like good news to me, bro. I mean, like, obviously, well, see if.
But do you go like this?
It was too big.
That was $474 worth of good news. Like,
well,
like,
I mean,
honestly, that was my thing, Don. Is like, you sent me and made me spend $300 for somebody to tell me that you were wrong.
Well, yeah, because he wasn't sure. Like, for example, he felt it and it felt too big. The x-rays don't really show as much as the ultrasound, so it was probably still looking large. But yeah, I mean, obviously, anything like that is expensive.
You didn't go the exploratory surgery route.
Well,
right.
25 years ago, they would have been exploratory. He took a trip up north to the farm after the first vet visit.
Well, first of all, dude,
so that's good.
I had prepared myself to tell my son that the dog had gone, that Boogie had to be moved to a farm. I had spent an entire week thinking about that, and it had literally driven my wife to the point where she was like, wow, maybe we should like really look at getting, come here, Duke. Come here.
Changing the name of the dog? No.
No.
I know.
This is his buddy.
So this is one time he's wanting the dog to get up on his lap.
So this is Duke.
Hello.
Oh, he's so pretty.
He's a year and a half old. And so, all right, my bad. I shouldn't have called you. All right.
So, he's like, I just want to say hi to everybody.
So he's a rescue. We got him from the Humane Society. And no, stop. And so, damn it. Anyway, so we go to my wife always picks the dogs. Always picks the dogs. She is and this is how she picks dogs. Any dog that doesn't bark at her, she falls in love with. Is that if it doesn't make noise, then she's good. And so she gets this dog. This dog is 60 pounds of pure muscle, and he is a puppy, and he is a rescue from Detroit. So he is a Detroit street dog.
Yes.
Right. Like
Dog is
I'm almost
custom shit.
yeah, I'm almost positive he called me motherfucker a couple of times. And I was like, whoa, dog. And he was like, bitch, I'm from the D. And I was like, okay, all right, I'm gonna let that go. So so now here's the thing, we're fucked because we got this dog and our other dog ain't gonna die.
So it was your backup dog?
He was my backup dog.
Oh my
I got
God,
my
that's so
backup
genius.
dog.
And it's not like the Humane Society has a return policy.
Hi, Boogie. This is Duke.
Yeah. I'm like, this is your
he's gonna be
replacement.
He's the Ryan Seacrest.
Which, well, yeah, but what you have now is
He's
more
the
time for
mojo in
your
the morning dog.
He's my mojo in the morning, dog.
Yep, but what you have now is an opportunity. You have time now for your other dog to properly train the new dog.
Oh, that's so funny.
Dude,
I'm just here to show you around the bowl and
yeah, like, hey, run him through your day. Let him see how it goes. And I just we got. I'm gonna tell you, got 8 weeks to train him, Boogie. 8 weeks, and we'll be transitioning you to a new position in the family, underneath the bush in the backyard. And
I couldn't do that though with my cats because they'd be miserable. If I got them a kitten, they'd hate everything. They'd hate me. They'd hate the cat. They'd hate everything. So I can't do that with my cats because they're too old. Oh, you know what I just did, D? This is how my cats are so bougie. I got a new bed like a month ago and it's really high. And my cats are really fat and they're kind of old. So when they jump up on it, they like have to claw their way up. So I don't want them to. They're really fat.
You got upstairs, didn't you?
awesome.
you bought your cat steps.
I did, but they're dumb as fuck, and they just sniff them. And I woke up this morning, and they were sleeping underneath it, but they don't use them. They're still jumping up on the bed, and I'm like trying to show my cats how to use the stairs, like putting them up on it and like climbing them up the stairs.
I got to see Nina just crawling up the steps onto her own bed.
No, I'll break them. They're not that. I'm cheap. You can buy the nice ones. I bought cheap ones, but I can't get them to do it. And so, but yes, I did buy my cat stairs for my bed, and eventually they'll get it. But right now, they have no idea. So
your bed is fat cat accessible.
It is fat cat
know,
accessible.
Yeah. Maybe you should spray paint like a little figure of a fat cat in a wheelchair, like right on the steps. Then they can know
that's what it's for, because that's what's
that's what it's for. Yeah,
the icon.
It's only official if she puts a sign up as well.
But yes, so that's what I did for my pets this weekend. But I do think that's good news, D. My cat has cost me in the last month. He had an ear infection, and then he just got a sinus infection. That's all it was when I took him to the vet, was a sinus infection, and he got antibiotics. So he's cost me about $300 in the past month. So I get it.
Here's the thing though, like Donnie, this is what Donnie did. Donnie was like, you know what? Yeah, but you got good news. Well, is that honestly, like, I'm still eating. I'm like, but it's only good news
for his own good.
I'm like, it's only good news because he was wrong.
Well, it sounds like, I mean, would you rather him have had the cancer so it was worth the money?
Dude, I got a backup dog. What did you think? What did you think was happening here?
When you go to the Humane Society, do they like, is there like a whole questionnaire thing you got to do and everything to be able to like qualify for getting the dog, or do they just give it to anyone?
First of all, let me just tell you real quick. If this dog doesn't stop pulling on me, I'm about to get another backup dog.
Get all friendly in here.
So yeah. So this is the procedure. And let me just tell you, it's a little, as the kids say, sus. So They go, all right. They go, we suggest you bring your dog and your child in. All right. And they are good salespeople here at the Humane Society. They were like, he's young, and so he's a little jumpy and a little mouthy, and mouthy is like when he likes to wow. And so I was like, well, I'm that sounds very interesting. And so we bring in Boogie, and they bring out two 20-somethings, maybe 19-somethings, to determine whether or not these dogs would be good living together.
Compatible?
Right. Yeah. And neither one of them have, I feel like, the appropriate training to make that kind of determination. They stood there holding the dogs apart to see if one would attack the other. And then they went like this. They seem
Pretty simple
good.
test.
Yeah, she goes,
Is that the same procedure? Is that the same procedure you go through when you're going on your second or third marriage, and you get your own kids, and she's got her own kids? You got to get them together to see what happens.
yeah, and you're like, well, hopefully we get the Brady Bunch, but maybe, you know. But that's what they did. They held them apart, and then like none of them snapped at each other, and they went, oh, they seem very good. And she goes, well, if each one tries to hump the other one has to stop them. And if that's not, and I'm like, first of all, neither one of you look like you could pass a piss test right now. So I don't understand why you are the experts here. This motherfucker is eating my chair.
I was say, speaking of dogs humping,
can you hear him? Like eventually I'm just going to hit the ground. He's like a beaver.
He just gets lower and lower.
Yeah, but so anyway, how's everybody else doing?
Yeah, so I guess what I was thinking is like I was trying to think of like at some point they have to vet you. Right, they have to be like, they have to make sure that you're not gonna like take the dog and Michael Vick it. Like, I guess so. Like, I guess I was just kind of curious. Like they ask you like, what makes you think you'd be a good owner for the dog?
No.
And I just turn over the bills. I just pay for the other dog. Like, here's 478 reasons why I'd be a good dog owner.
Right?
Yeah,
and that's exactly the question they ask. Do you have 478 reasons why you're a good dog owner? Yeah,
like you took him to the vet. That's that's part of it. I mean, our cat got hit by a car and never made a vet visit. It was like, let's just let him walk it off for a couple days. He seems all right. That hair patch that's missing is growing back. I think he's okay. He's a little skittish for a while, but so far so good.
But that's the thing. Literally, I was just like, you know what? This is like, I was prepared because I wasn't going to do chemo, and I wasn't going to do chemo. They were like, he'll get another 4 months if you do chemo and surgery. And I'm just like,
and they'll be very sick for those 4 months. So
4 months of what? Me being a selfish pet owner and trying to keep my animal alive as long as I possibly can because I can't accept the fact that he's gone, you know. This son of a bitch. I swear to God. Dude, I gotta walk this dog first thing in the morning, 2 miles, just to get him tired. And then I gotta work with him for an hour, right? Just to teach him basics, which don't seem to be working. I'm a shitty teacher. So, and then I gotta walk him another 2 miles. Dude, he never barks.
So what's he telling you right now?
That he wants to go in the living room.
But I mean, he can go there. He's on his own.
No. Pets are like little kids. They can't go anywhere by themselves. They need you to go everywhere with them.
Yeah. Right.
I need my
here.
Okay, hold on. I gotta put him in his crate. I'll be right back. Yeah, Gina, take this. Handle this.
What'd you say, Tifo?
I was saying, you can go to Teebs, get some of them little doggy CBD treats.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you just put a pump or two in their food, and it's supposed to chill them out. I drug my kids with melatonin. I mean, same thing, right?
Right.
Ish.
Ish. And that was my sad attempt at the 7 o'clock break.
You did a good job because I'd have forgot. Because I go to Teams a little too often for my own good. So there's that.
How often do you say you go there? Twice a week? Once a week?
Probably every 2 weeks I go up there. But because when I go up there, I stock up because it's only about 40 minutes drive, but it's a nice
weed.
It's a super nice drive though. I love that drive. It's especially if you have a motorcycle, that'd be a beautiful motorcycle ride, wouldn't it? You don't think? I don't know. What?
Yeah, but you'd be on a motorcycle.
I mean, if you already have a motorcycle and you enjoy motorcycle rides, not people like me, I don't do motorcycle rides, but I think that'd be a really nice drive.
Oh yeah, yeah. But my fear of turning myself into a human bullet is just like that's not a thing for me. Like I hit something. I need something to like stop me. I like a seatbelt, not like a wall or
like a tree branch.
Yeah, or a car in front of me. You know, like that. Like God bless people who love their motorcycles and I get it, but that's just something that I'm like not comfortable doing. I don't think your wife would let you buy a motorcycle, Donnie.
Oh yeah, right.
I need four walls and a roof. It's why I can't do convertibles either. I need the protection of the four walls. I need my airbags. I need my seatbelt. I need everything.
Can't be trusted to walk down a hallway.
I am hurtling down the road at 75, 80 miles an hour, and I need all the protection I can get.
Dude, where are you going in such a hurry?
The McDonald's.
Yeah, I'm with Ashley. Donnie should not have a motorcycle ever. Never, ever.
They said
ever,
the McRib was a limited time.
I have too many. I'm a pretty decent driver, and knock on wood, but you just really have to be aware of everything on a motorcycle, like everything, not just yourself, other cars, birds. I mean,
right? Like anything could kill you.
Yeah,
like anything.
I have too much stuff on my mind. I don't have that kind of awareness.
Have you guys ever been driving somewhere like places you've driven all the time or whatnot, and you're driving, and then all of a sudden you're where you're supposed to be, and you're like, what happened to the last 15 minutes? Because you guys just kind of go into a zone of
road
it. Yeah, exactly.
Brain autopilot. Thing.
Exactly. And I can't imagine doing that on a motorcycle. That whole idea scares the crap out of me.
You shouldn't do that on a motorcycle. Has anybody ever done this, like accidentally almost run another car off the road because it was in your blind spot?
Yes.
Like you try to change lanes and it's right there. I feel like the biggest asshole when that happens. Like when I do that and I'm like, and I hear a horn and then they drive by me and they're like, yeah, and I'm like, yeah, I kind of deserve that. I'm so sorry.
You just gotta make that.
Give them the sorry wave.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yep. Just gotta make that emoji face the whole time. Like,
it feels like so inadequate. Like I don't know if it feels to them like you're being cocky. Like, yep, thanks for letting me in.
Like I just wanted to go like, dude, I was so sorry. I didn't even like I will stop the car and show up 15 minutes late to make up for this.
Yeah, this is why we need like special lights and horns on your car. So like, because I feel like we have inadequate communication from driver to driver for things such as that. Like, a little thank you horn instead of the regular horn, just a little doot doot, sort of thing. Maybe a light on the back that you can turn on. So whenever you do get in front of them, it's like, oh, they put the thank you light up. Okay, that's good.
I had a customer who used to sell those. They make like little LEDs that you put in the back in your back window, and you can preset like 5 different messages, and you have a remote up front. So you can say like, I'm sorry.
That's great. So now I have to read a text while I like
right. Probably why they never took off. This was a couple years ago.
World.
It's like
I am the worst road rager. Like I am motherfucking everything while I'm driving. Like the whole way down the road, I'm like, this asshole. Like I hate driving because that's when the stupid really comes out in people. So like Toledo cannot merge. We don't know how at all. We don't. The concept is mind-boggling to Toledoans, like to merge and the other thing too. Have you ever been stuck in traffic? And it takes forever, and then you get up there, and there's like nothing, and all of a sudden the traffic's just going. You're like, why the fuck were we going 3 miles an hour? Like, why? What is going on?
Every time I'm in Michigan coming back to Ohio, I run into and I end up stuck in traffic for like almost an hour. Finally, get to the point where it is, and by the time I get to where the backup was caused, and you can start driving normally again, I'm thinking in my head, there better be some damn blood.
It's because most people don't know
there better be a body up here. And I feel bad for thinking it. And then I get there and there's nothing. And my steering wheel takes a beating like nobody's business.
That's very similar to to the spending money on the vet, and that it'd been nothing because like you spent money sitting in traffic. So it's because most people don't know the universally accepted zipper method to merge. I don't know if you guys are familiar.
Yes.
But it's the Ohio Safety Transportation Method. Everyone gets over too soon.
What? So wait, Donnie.
B word.
Donnie's one of those assholes that waits until the sign is right in front of him to merge.
But that's what you're by law. That's what you're supposed to do.
That's what I'm talking.
If everybody else gets over, you get over. You don't be like, oh, this lane's clear. There must be no there's a reason for it. Get over.
Yeah, but and here's the thing about it though. People like you are the reason traffic stopped because you're like, I'm not letting anybody in. So then it stops. If everybody just lets one person over, traffic's going to keep going and flowing. But we got these people that they don't let anybody in, and then so traffic stops over here, and then the traffic stops over here because eventually these people are going to get in one way or the other. They're gonna, and then traffic's all the way stopped. It's not because of the people that ran up to where it merges, because that's what you're supposed to do. It's because of people like you, Tifo, which is not shocking to anybody here.
I let people in. I let people in sometimes, but no. If I'm I'm not gonna pretend like I'm king of the road and everybody else is over. Everybody else gets over.
It's not king of the road. It's legal. That's the way to do it. That's in a driving handbook issued by the BMV.
But there's the way things are in the handbook, and there are the way things are in real life.
No,
and Christopher,
in the handbook and on the highway, there's a speed limit, and you're not allowed to go over the speed limit. Yet people think they're in the left lane. They go 80 miles an hour. Nobody yells at those people because that's the fast lane. But
it's the passing lane, Chris. It's the passing lane.
It's the passing lane, and it says in the handbook you can go 10 miles an hour over to pass. Like that's legit.
Yeah, but once you've passed, you're supposed to get over and start going the speed limit again.
Christopher, like, I love you so much, and I need you to know this, but goddamn, bro, like you can't. You strike me as the kind of man who would look at a judge and go, "Look, I understand what the law says, but you don't understand reality." The world demanded that I choke the shit out of that guy. Like, I know it was illegal technically, but I was in a bar where everybody was choking everyone.
I'm just saying, I've lived in like 7 or 8 states across the United States. I've had my license for I got it when I was like almost 20 years now. And I've driven in a bunch of states. I've driven all across the country, and there's not one single state where I've ever seen the zipper merge being successfully done by anyone.
Chris, how often are you hovering above the highway so you can see the zipper merge being perfected?
How many traffic tours have you taken?
I'm talking about in the situation like right now when you're driving on the trail and you're told like a mile or two later that your lane is about to freaking end.
Yeah, but you know why, Tifo? You don't notice it because when you're zipper merging, the traffic keeps moving, so you're not going to notice until it stops.
But I notice when a lane is ending and when I get backed up. And it's every single time.
Yeah. Chris, your dick skin in the zipper merge. That is.
That's such a good analogy. That's probably the best analogy that I've heard from you.
You are painful. You make people angry. And you know it's going to hurt when you try to undo it. That is what you are.
Fantastic.
No, I'm just saying, I've never seen technically you're right, Gina. Yeah, it's in the manual, but I've never seen it be successfully done.
Doesn't mean that it's not going to back up.
Right. It's still going to back up in a lot of places.
If you're decreasing lanes of busy traffic, they're just saying it's the most efficient. I mean, it's recommended.
You know what pisses me off in Toledo is people treating yield signs as stop signs, especially at roundabouts.
We can't even. It was the thing about roundabouts is it requires merging, and again, Toledo cannot merge, so we cannot roundabout. Like we just can't. We don't deserve roundabouts. We just don't.
You know what's so funny? I love how you just said it. You're like, Toledo cannot roundabout. It makes it sound like we can't fucking hoe down. We can't square dance.
We can't.
Toledo
can't buff the wood.
Can't, yeah.
We cannot do-si-do.
Yeah. Toledo can't electric slide. This shit is crazy.
We can do the wobble like nobody's business, though.
Like I'm driving
Wobble
down,
merge. That's what we need.
like I'm driving. They put in all those new roundabouts like on McCord, and so like I drive down that way a couple times a month or whatnot because I'm going to the Asian market on Dorr Street in McCord. The people there, they treat the yield sign like a stop sign, even if like you come up to the roundabout and it's perfectly clear, no merging is necessary. You just have to get into the roundabout, and they still stop. And then
those are people that are new to it.
But it's
I have people that are new to it though.
Chris,
like I live over here.
Yeah,
this is like you.
What are you
yielding? If you live
to?
in Holland, I'm talking about that's like a zipper on crack. If it's like regular Holland people, like we're flying through there like it's nobody's business. It's people that aren't used to it who come up and panic and just stop and sit there because they've never seen a roundabout for some reason.
Yeah. I've seen people actually stop in the middle of the roundabout to let other cars in. And I'm like, this isn't how it works, ma'am. You got to keep on going.
Yeah. If people could just figure out the roundabout, they're so much better. And I just can't. You just got to figure it out.
McCord Road used to be a disaster. First, you used to have to McCord over there by Spring Meadows, where they made that underpass for the train tracks. Mm-hmm. That's only been there for like 5-6 years. You used to have to wait for that train. There's like 9 trains a day, and then there's a light over there. Like it was a disaster. It would take you 20 minutes to get through there, but now it's faster than it's like nothing over there.
If Donnie, if you were a superhero, your name would be Brightside.
No, the traffic over there really is a lot better than it used to be. I used to never want to go to Holland. Like I wouldn't go do the grocery shop. I'd be like, man, I'd rather go out Franklin Park Mall area. But now the traffic on Secor and Talmadge is so freaking bad. Like I can't. Like the minute if I know I have to do something over there at that way, like anytime between 9 and 7, I'm like, I got to mentally prepare myself to drive over there because I hate that traffic. It's so bad.
Yeah, I love what they did with the Secor corridor there, like between what's it, the Central and Monroe, that whole area. That's always been backed up. It's ever since I've lived here. That's always been a bad traffic area because you got the on-ramp, on-ramps there, you got the and then you had businesses and stuff. And then their answer to it was, hey guys, let's redevelop the entire area and put it in about 50 more businesses that people will want to go to and will attract a huge amount of other people and make more traffic, but do nothing to widen the road to make it easier for people.
It's all that Krispy Kreme traffic, man.
Dude, that first day they were backed up onto the highway.
It was like that with Culver's in Oregon for like a month. The road was all and I'll say Culver's is not that good. Like their ice cream's cool, but it is not wait 45 minutes good.
I don't understand Culver's. I had never heard of Culver's before. It has I don't know what the big deal about Culver's is. I think what is it, fish or chicken sandwiches?
No, it's just like a burger joint. It's a burger joint. Food and dicks. It's so true. It was exactly what this
Happy Monday, y'all.
Yeah, I refuse to wait too long in a drive-through. So I love the Popeyes chicken sandwich, but if I'm in that line for 10 minutes or more, I leave the line. Like Chick-fil-A gets you through with like military precision. And then Popeyes, their staff is just like, we got other shit going on. You're going to have to wait.
I love, and that's what makes their chicken awesome is a lot of people think that, hate chicken, maybe the fact that Chick-fil-A doesn't, particularly embrace like anybody with an alternate lifestyle. And the fact that they don't serve food on Sundays makes their chicken delicious. But I tell you, and I defy anybody to say otherwise, Popeyes, I don't give a fuck attitude is the spice that makes that sandwich so good.
It's a 12 spice.
Well, it's got to be good if that's to overcome it.
That's true. That's true.
That is Like when I get that Popeyes chicken sandwich, I bite into it and I'm like, this was the last. I can taste that this was the last thing you wanted to do today.
Right. That could
literally, and it's delicious.
That could be their ad campaign. Popeyes, so good. Fuck you.
like seriously, it's like they give so little care to actually getting stuff done and giving you a pleasant experience, and sometimes I'll put up with it because I know the food is going to be just that good because it has to make up for how crappy they are.
Well,
to teach you patience. Shut up, Dad.
I was waiting for you to say something.
Man, I'll tell you what. You're lucky your dad is so far away. Because had I said that to my mother, I mean, regardless of how many states she was in, I would be unconscious right now. I don't know how she would hit me from 300 miles away, but she would have hit me, and then it would have been, she would have typed something in. I would have said, "Shut up, Mom," and then I would have been like,
he learned a long time ago hitting me doesn't work.
we know nothing works. Actually,
yeah,
we know that.
Shit. Like, you're the only person I would think that Children's Services would come out and go, "I don't understand why you don't hit him."
You know, every time I think we're really close to marrying Tiefel off, he's such a good guy, and he can cook and he's smart, and then he opens his mouth and I'm like, this is just, if you just shut up, like if you just shut up, we could find you just quiet. Just quiet.
If only she wouldn't have brought up the zipper merge. They'd still be together today.
I know.
You brought that up. Don't put it on me.
I'm talking about him on a date.
Right. Yes.
How often does traffic patterns come up on your dates?
You gotta cover everything.
Dude,
just in case it comes up later.
He's the whole package until he opens his mouth. Like, he's not terrible looking. He can cook. He's got a good job. He's stable.
That's the nicest thing Gina's ever said.
Can I tell you, Chris? Like, this is a really good idea. There was this millionaire guy who like killed his wife, right? And then he disappeared. And then they found him because he killed his boyfriend. Like, so he disappeared by dressing up like a woman. And he lived his life for like 10 years dressed like a deaf mute woman. And then he got a boyfriend who assumed that he was deaf and mute. Like, and so they were watching a basketball game together. And then this dude like blurted something out in a deep man voice. And his boyfriend was like, "What the fuck?" And so he had to kill that. He killed that dude.
It's like, yes. I mean, what?
But they had a really healthy relationship for like 5 years where he didn't say anything and give it away.
Oh my god!
But like, I don't know. I feel like there were other indicators for the other guy that the woman he was dating was actually
focusing on the wrong part of the story. The part of the story D was getting to was that this person lived in harmony and a great relationship for a long time by shutting the fuck up.
I feel like that's not a great relationship if you have to keep your mouth shut.
Right, we know. We know you feel that way.
We know. We need you to get invested in the theory.
Yes, just consider it.
No, it won't happen. If anybody's interested in Tiefel, I have a lot of good selling points. Donnie, you should sell Tiefel. You are an amazing. No, you're too honest. We need somebody else.
No, Donnie could sell.
No, I'll find him.
Donnie, I want. Do you think you can
100%.
in 3 minutes sell me Chris? But I also want you to put in the fact that he's argumentative.
Right, you gotta tell the truth.
We just need the right.
See, I'm not argumentative.
Look, Dan, I just settled in. We both just got all settled in. Let's hear this.
All right,
having a discussion isn't having a
Chris.
Chris, how about wait? I got time out 1 second, guys. Chris,
ladies,
Chris, don't talk. Chris, do not talk during this. Let Donnie sell you. Do not ruin the sale.
Ladies, do you want a man who's going to be home when you get home? Ladies, Do you ever get hungry? Do you want to eat something delicious that you didn't have to pay for at the store? Ladies, do you want a man who's going to be able to fix something around the house? Do you want a man that if you're not sure how you should feel about a certain topic, he will tell you? No, I'm just kidding. Ladies,
So accurate.
I hate you all.
do you want a man who won't just be there physically, but emotionally and intellectually? Someone you could talk to, someone you can hang out with. Of course you do. Give him a shot. All it does is take one, just give him a little test drive, little test date. You got to go out, hang out. I'm just, dude, the right girl is out there for Chris. It's just like the right,
She's deaf. And
like
she can't
the
hear
right
his ad.
No, she's
buyer.
just really
For
going to need
example,
him. She's just really going to need citizenship.
You had one direction through this whole thing, Tifo. One, and it was to shut the fuck up and let Donnie sell you, and you couldn't do it. You just couldn't do it.
Thought it was over since D was chiming in.
No, we're trying to sell you. You need to shut up.
Well, he was trying to sell me. D was never mind.
Chris has
so,
been blacklisted at the Russian Mall Murder Pride Association.
but honestly, aside from selling him, it's not even selling. It's the advertising. We need to get more. We need to get more people kicking the tires. We need to get more
Please don't
contacts.
kick
We need
me.
to get more texts. We need to get more. You need to go on more dates. You need to talk to more people.
Yeah, it's a
And
numbers
that's,
game. But
that's how you'll find it.
Georgia says he's too picky. So
Sure,
Tifo,
sure, sure.
tell,
Yeah,
tell
good,
us
good.
what's your
She
ideal
says
woman.
Too picky.
She says I'm too picky because I didn't go for the setup that her and Mike tried to put me on
No,
with a woman that
yeah.
already has 5 kids.
That's fine. That's just someone. Sorry,
Yeah,
Georgia.
that's
I
a
love
lady
you,
who
but
needs a ride.
that's.
Well, she
It
would have
doesn't-
had
you don't have to land on one. That's one person. The odds of you matching with one person that someone sets you up with aren't great. But
Right.
if you're out there putting the feelers out, and you're gonna have you got to feel that spark. You got to feel that zing, as they say in Hotel Transylvania. But you have to take the shots because she's out there. I promise you,
Yep.
she is, dude.
Yep.
I promise
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yes, 100%. And so, yeah, being too picky is fine, but like
Oh, I do
also
dishes.
know that
Yes,
no one's
Moonlight.
perfect.
Yes, he does.
And Moonlight says what?
She wanted to know if he does dishes.
Does dishes
Oh,
in the
yes,
house.
yes.
I do
Yeah,
half
yeah.
that. I do dishes.
You don't clean? What do? You have
Well, no, my
you
clean,
pay somebody?
my kitchen is very clean. The rest of my apartment is very cluttered.
Well, like, so for example, going back to the sales thing, okay. I've got a lot of different types of cars on the lot. I got pickup trucks, there's big cars, small cars, there's vans. So when someone comes in, not every car is going to work for that person. Like it's a car might sit there for like a month, 2 months even. It's like, how is this car still here? Just because the right person for that car hasn't either put themselves in the market yet, or they haven't like discovered it yet. And then boom, next thing you know, the right buyer's here, that car is gone. That truck is gone.
You know, that story that you tell reminds me a lot of a story that I heard once where a young boy was given money by his parents to buy his first car, and his dad takes him to this lot. And he looks and he wants to buy this Camaro. He sees this old Camaro and he wants to buy it. But he was meant to buy a bug. He was meant to buy a bug. And then so he buys this bug. And then later on in the evening, this bug turns into Bumblebee. Now, Chris could be your Bumblebee. I know the exterior looks a little rough. I know you may think it needs a paint job. And on the inside, it may smell like shit and argue with you all the time. But once you get it into the driveway, it's an Autobot. And everybody loves an Autobot.
No, see, Georgia, that's just flat out wrong. I obviously do not expect to find a woman that has no kids. I would just rather not have one that has a full baseball team.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
That's-
when you find the right person, she either is or she isn't. It's not going to be about whether or not she has kids.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
won't.
yeah.
You
You know what I
won't
mean?
care if you find the right person. That how many
Right.
kids she has will be
I'm not
irrelevant to
trying to
you.
reshoot cheaper by the dozen. Okay,
Well,
that's
Chris, I'm just saying, the more kids she has, the less harder it is for her to tell you that she doesn't do that. I see 4 fucking things running around here with names that say you do. So,
But the right girl, Georgia said he can't shut up long enough to find out if she's the right one. That's probably true, but the right girl will want to hear what he has to say. Like the right girl's going to come along and he's not going to have to shut up, I think. I hope, because if not, he's never getting married.
Well, yeah, we got to find. I don't know. Like sometimes opposites attract, sometimes like attracts. It's just. I feel like
Dubs
for
and I
Chris,
are
might be someone a little bit.
opposites.
Yeah, like Ashley and I are opposites in certain ways, but we're very much alike in other ways. So, yeah, when it comes to communication, I think it would be great to have someone similar in Chris's tone, similar in directness, and
Like all they'll
think
do
so?
is
Conviction.
argue.
conviction.
but that's not
listen.
what I do. So
Listen, speaking of bright side, I'm gonna put a positive spin on it. Well, they say any strength taken to extremes can be considered a weakness. Is an old proverb. And Chris's strength is conviction, which is great. It's a great thing, but sometimes you just gotta tone it down a little bit. But it's nothing. I mean, it's great that you have conviction. I mean, honestly, no one like you and a friend I work with. No matter if I believe what you're saying, I know that you believe it 210%, and that's a great thing.
Speaking of, let's get to the Tiefels WTF news.
Brought to you by Ebenezer Bushrod. Or
And also
as you may know him as, that ain't how I heard it, sir.
Also brought to you by Teebs of Adrian. Go check them out and tell them we sent you.
all right. Well, thanks for that introduction. Well, I was gonna say, Gina, you left Florida too soon.
Oh no.
Apparently, people down in the Keys keep finding keys of Coke washed up on the shore.
I gotta go back. Damn it!
I know you said you took a little trip down into the Keys. Apparently, the shoreline of
not
Isla
into
Morada.
not into the Keys, but not into those Keys.
If you would have just gotten down there, you could have found some cocaine on the beach.
Man, I always miss the good shit.
There's no context for it. Nobody knows why, but yeah, just most recently on Thursday,
nobody knows why. Well, let's see. Let's narrow this down. A Coke smuggler was getting pulled over by the Coast Guard and tossed it overboard, or they sank. Like there's really only 2 out. Nobody's just throwing keys off a boat in
Coke
Florida.
Submarine.
Yeah, probably just like messing with people, just like, hey, this will really freak them out.
No, nobody's doing that with tens of thousands of dollars, Tifo. Nobody's doing that.
I did not realize that Coke floated. I never realized.
Well, they wrap it in plastic and then in duct tape. So I guess I don't know.
There's a reason they call them bricks. I don't understand why they float. That is like there should be a giant like Incan temple built underwater if all that shit sinks.
So I'd be scuba diving.
Why? Go to the beach where the jellyfish are very aggressive.
They are in Jacksonville. I want to do. I want to. I don't. What are they gonna do? Hey, come at me, bro.
They're dancing. they're techno dancing.
Oh, D, that's a great jellyfish impression.
Thank you, because it has no accent.
Is that one of the pieces of Coke?
It looks similar to the picture there. I don't know where she got it, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I'm so sad that all I found was broken shells and dead jellyfish.
Yeah. I'm surprised that story didn't read like one person finds 100 keys of Coke. Like you would think like one person wouldn't go like, hey, look, I found a ton of Coke. Like that's the secret, dummy.
So you guys remember Kevin Spacey, right?
Yes.
He was a big actor for a while. He was a huge hit with House of Cards, and then he got hit with the accusations of sexual assault from an actor from when he was 14 years old back in the 80s, and then there were some other allegations that came out. It kind of he kind of got canceled before canceling became a thing. And that's back in 2017. Well, guess what? He's trying to restart his acting career now. He's coming out with a new movie in which he plays a detective investigating allegations of sexual assault on a minor. Because why not just hit things right on the nose from out the gate?
Hey, he was innocent. Like, that was a thing. He was not guilty of any of that. They produced evidence. He went to trial over this. And they produced phone records and all this stuff. So, like, I feel bad for him. Like, first of all, you kind of, I don't know, you put yourself in a position where people can throw that shit at you, then, you know, you gotta kind of wonder. But I'm just saying, none of that stuff was true about him. And nobody has come out and said, hey, my bad, or, you know, we were wrong.
Yeah. The retraction's on page 9.
Right?
I just thought it was just kind of weird, just the coming back into acting in that role instead of something else. Like, he just kind of little on the nose.
Yeah, let me tell you how, like, allegations of anything can just, like, kill you over before even evidence is presented. Like, that shit's crazy. Like, we are quick to judge.
Yep. So, but he's making his foray back in. We'll see how it goes for him. I sent Georgia a link to a video for this one in Center Line, Michigan. A man saw a spider on his car while he was filling up his gas tank, and decided to try to kill it with fire. The fire then, of course, spread. The man, still freaking out, but apparently thinking rationally a bit, moved his car out of the way while the attendant hit the emergency shutoff. He then grabbed a fire extinguisher and put the fire out before fire crews even showed up.
Wow, that's a guy with warrants.
What a fucking moron. I don't care what he did after the fact. I don't care. I don't care if he rescued all the kittens. And you're an idiot. Like, what kind of moron puts fire next to a freaking gas tank? People
who are deathly afraid of spiders.
No. And he tried to explain it away, as in that whole static thing that they tell you about at the pump, you know,
right,
where you shouldn't get in and out of.
Tell you about, like, you.
So he. No. Yeah, he tried to play it off as the static thing when he was questioned by the attendant while they were waiting for emergency services. And then when he was questioned by fire investigators, he finally broke and told them the truth, that he saw a spider and tried to burn it away, and that's what caused the fire.
So did the spider survive?
Yeah. Like, that's the thing. That's the thing you just got to own. I mean, I would just go look. Because I feel like people understand that kind of fear,
right?
You know,
you get it right.
It was a spider. No. It was a spider, and I tried to set it on fire. I forgot that I was pumping gas in my car, but I want you to understand that I was not bitten. Everything is okay. I am fine.
Why didn't you say that in the first place? All right, no charges.
The status of the spider is unknown at this time. So. See,
oh my god!
But all right, so I got a story here out of India, which is basically the Florida of Asia, and so they're actually in the middle of a really bad second wave of COVID right now. Hospitals are being overrun, healthcare workers are being overworked, and so as a result, India has put in place some really strict COVID guidelines, and they have been holding people's feet to the fire for not complying with the COVID guidelines when they've been found out. Well, a couple out of Madurai wanted to get married, and they have really strict guidelines of how many people you can have in attendance at your wedding and all this stuff. So what they did apparently was they chartered a plane, got all their friends and family, about 150 people, on the plane, and they just flew over the city for 2 hours, and they got married right at a point when they were flying over the temple, and they got married right there on the plane, and then they landed. So they were unmasked, They had more than 50 people at their wedding. They violated the spirit, if not the full-on conditions of the COVID guidelines, and so now police are investigating. The cabin crew has been placed on suspension because they allowed it to happen, and and even some of the guests might be under investigation for participating.
Well, good for you to have $150 people in a plane money. Good for you.
Yes.
Like my wedding had COVID restrictions before there was COVID, and that was basically budget.
Yeah.
So
when they sent out the wedding invitations, they were like, "Do you guys want the bag of peanuts or the trail mix for dinner?
First class or coach?"
So, and last but not least, it's sort of an uplifting story and sort of not uplifting in the fact that this person was able to get away and also assist in catching the person. A girl it's an 11-year-old girl identified only as Alyssa. She apparently was waiting at a bus stop when a man pulled up, had a knife, and he tried to grab her. She tried to run away. He caught her. And then she was able to wrestle away from him and run away and get away. But while she was wrestling away from him, she managed to mark him with her slime. You know, that slime that kids are playing with all the time? But she managed to get a bunch of it on his arm and just kind of streak it down his arm. And then, so when she got away and cops got involved, she told them, gave him the description and everything, but then, gave him that she did that to him. And the guy apparently didn't clean himself up, and they were able to catch him because she marked him in that way. She credits watching Law and Order SVU with her ability to not only get away, but also help capture the man.
there's a little more to this story. The fact is, this cat had been watching her for about a week. He had had an encounter with this girl's mother, and this girl's mother had been walking her to the bus stop every day since they encountered this guy. And then the one day where she has to help her younger sister, the mom, and lets her go to the bus stop by herself, this dude tries to snatch her up. So it says to me that he'd been watching her every day for an opening, and then he tried to snatch her, and then the dumbass thought that he could paint his bumper black and nobody would catch him. It would be a different car. And so the guy's got some issues, and he's got other charges.
Good thing they got him.
For assaulting, young children.
They've got him for attempted kidnapping of a child under 13, aggravated assault with a weapon, in simple battery. He's got a $15 million bond right now.
Good. All right, I have to go. It was nice staying.
We all
for
have
the
to go.
Stan's news.
Yes.
And which didn't contain any Stan's news. Oh, we had an India story, but I have to go. So I'll see you guys later.
Yep. And so is that all we have, Sal?
That is all that is all the news I have for you this morning.
All right, maybe we should lead off with a child abduction story first and not close on it.
I thought more as a catching the bad guy story than the abduction part.
That it's 7:30. People are getting their kids ready, so
keep your head on a swivel.
All right, thank you everybody for listening to the show. On behalf of Andrew, who's taking his mom to the doctor, Chris Tiefel, Gina, and the amazing Donnie Brightside P. If he was a boxer, that'd be his name, Donnie Brightside. This is Demetrius Nicodemus. I want to say thank you guys, and we'll be back tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Come on!